Good morning, people. It's your brother VanSilk. Yeah, I don't shave when I'm home. Yo, actually, I'm rocking the original Hip Hop Boulevard T-shirt. Um, I want to talk on this topic this morning called when hip hop groups break up. Like a lot of us been discussing this week. You know what happened between Chuck D and Flavor Flav, and you know we we're all at a point in life where things happen in groups. Like I can remember when Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five split up. That was a sad day in hip hop, especially when they was all in their prime. And Flash Creole and Cowboy went to Elektra Records. No, Flash Creole and Raheem went to Elektra, and Mel and Cowboy and Scorpio stayed at Sugar Hill. And it was just those days that when me and Mel and Scorpio was just going to Sugar Hill Records, and it was just like, you know, Mel and Scorpio and Cowboy did a couple of individual records, but when a group like that breaks up, a lot of times it's hard to recover. And when they did get back to do the Gold album, um, the last time that not only was Flash and the Furious Five was together, it was a year before, almost a year before Cowboy passed, and Disco being Easy Mike. I took the group to Canada to do a couple of TV shows and shows. Uh, so we had the five MCs, three DJs, so that was eight people. So we went to Canada, Toronto, did a couple shows, much music and things like that, and then we went to California. And then after that, it fell apart after the Cowboys' death. But when you look at groups again in hip hop, for years Eric B and Rakim didn't work with each other. I mean, for years EPMD didn't work with each other. For the last couple years, I've been trying to get Pete Nice and Search back together. Things happen, and what do we expect? I mean, we just noticed last year, even though people may not ever consider Spinderella a part of Salt and Pepper, but she's no longer part of that group. But if we go back and look, groups break up. Okay? I mean, if you go back and look at, the Temptations, come on, when they got rid of David Ruffin, that was like, okay, whoa, whoa. And it's not even that they broke up, they changed members throughout the years. You know? How many times have Run and DMC have not worked together? And there's been many years that they didn't work together since the death of Jam Master Jay. You know, and some groups members are friends. Some members in the groups aren't friends. And I always tell those who I've talked to, I say, listen, at this stage in the game or whatever, when you're in a group, it's a job. It's a job. You ain't got to be buddy buddy and do this and do that. All you got to do is go and do your show, do your interviews, and y'all can stay in different hotels. Y'all can fly on different flights. It's a job. It's a job. When NWA broke up, that was a big mess. And the only time that basically they all got back together was when they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, as you grow up in life and you get seasoned, things change, and like a year and a half ago, matter of fact, it might have been a year ago, me and Scorpio was talking, and me and Chuck D was talking. Let's do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tour. Let's do the groups that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that would have been trying to get Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five together. That meaning to get Run and DMC to work. That meaning to trying to see if we can get the members, surviving members, for NWA, and that also mean Chuck said to me, well, I got and I got to work on Flav. And getting to the whole Public Enemy situation. A lot of people don't understand, and I love Flav. A lot of people don't understand that Public Enemy Radio is a whole separate entity from Public Enemy. Because I think if people look at that Bernie Sanders flyer, because I still haven't seen a flyer with Flav's image on it, and I don't, and I'm quite sure Chuck didn't make the flyer because it was a short notice anyway when they made the flyer. Right underneath Public Enemy it says radio. If you go and look at Chuck's past tours with DJ Lord, it says Public Enemy Radio. Okay, now Chuck has been on tour in a supergroup since 2015-16 called Prophet of Rage, and that group came together because of the song that Public Enemy made, and it consists of Be Real from Cypress Hill, Chuck D, I think as a member from two members from Rage Against the Machine and another member, and they became a super rock group playing in front of hundreds of thousands of people on tour, and it's a great sound. It's an advancement in your career. Just like when you look at Ice-T, then you got Body Count. When Ice-T do Body Count, Ice-T don't do no Ice-T songs. He does Body Count songs. And I think a lot of us in our hip-hop community, especially on our social media platform, I think a lot of y'all need to start looking past what was done over the last 30 years and look at what a lot of people are doing now. Look at the growth. Instead of thinking, I don't like that record they made, it don't sound like them. No, you gotta grow in this business. If you don't grow, you're not gonna go nowhere. And when I look at a lot of the comments from within our hip hop community, a lot of y'all haven't even had mega hit records or never toured globally around the world, so you wouldn't know. And if you have been on tour, you haven't been on tour in the last decade, so you wouldn't know. The millenniums rule the touring circuit. When the Sugar Hill Gang goes out with Melly Mel and Scorpio, they don't listen. There's been times that Mike ain't been on stage because of his health sometimes, and their fans are not asking where they are or where is he. As long as you do the records, okay. As long as you do the records. UTFO's been broken up and Kango's been out on his own, and him and Ralph Tresvant did part of the record. I've seen Curtis Blow do The Message and White Lines on the road, and a lot of the artists, the pioneers in hip hop, are celebrating the artist's songs when they go on tour. Do you remember this song and do it? And I think that's a great compliment to these artists, because a lot of artists are never going to get to go on tour to UK. You can forget that. You're not going to ever get to tour to UK because it's just not built that way. You got to be built in order to tour the UK. So when I look at what's going on with Public Enemy and Chuck, and Flav, and Griff, they got the greatest chance of getting back together. And like a lot of people don't read. Chuck D said, I'm parking the Public Enemy car, took the license plates off, and when everything come back to being good again, I'll re-register the car. Meanwhile, Chuck D's going to continue on putting out albums, continue on pushing rapstation.com, continue on doing what Chuck D's been doing since they left Def Jam, recording projects with other artists, and they don't have to be rappers. And I know there was a project that he was working on a few years ago that Raheem and DMC and Creole got a song together with Chuck. And Chuck asked me, can they release the song and push the money towards Creole? So it all comes down to being an artist, not just being an MC, being an artist. And at the end of the day, there'll be some Public Enemy shows, but if people notice, Chuck Flav ain't been on basically a PE show in 4 years. And that's their business. But I want people to have a clarity to understand that Chuck as an individual has the right to endorse who he wants, and if it says Public Enemy Radio, that's also his brand. PE is his brand. Those are his trademarks. And I think if everybody would understand that that was his choice, but if we were to go back and look at an article from 3 years ago, Flavor Flav said in the interview, "Give Donald Trump a chance. He's winning." So that was basically like an endorsement as well, you know. But we got to look at how years ago MTV used to have Rock the Vote, and all the artists from Puffy to Jay Z, everybody was in support of Rock the Vote. Now they don't even do that no more. So if you feel that your political opinion, especially if you're not, even if you, especially if you're a political artist, your political opinion does mean something, you know. And in this upcoming presidential race, like I said, I don't care who's on top of the ticket because I'm voting Democrat. We got to get that nut out the White House. So when I'm looking at comments, oh, Biden may not be good or Bernie Sanders may not be, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it's crackhead Donald Duck or Daffy Duck on the top of the ticket. It's better than what we got now. So y'all need to stop that garbage on Facebook and social media. I don't think this one is good and that one is good. At the end of the day, either we're going to do 4 more years and maybe more with this clown, or we're going to figure it out and stop having these stupid debates online about this one and that one. But let's get back to when the hip hop group breaks up. There's going to be a change. And if the right person come along with the right money, I can guarantee you that you'll see some of the groups I discussed today in this on stage together. But it got to be the person with the right money. Now, I ain't talking about no rapper or none of that because they don't understand. They don't care. I'm talking about somebody who has nothing to do with hip hop to say, listen, I'm going to put up this amount of money and let's do 5 or 6 dates. And that way we probably can get the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious together and get Public Enemy and get Run and maybe get NWA to do a couple shows. Is it about the money or is it about the culture? It's your brother VanSilk. I'm out. Hope everybody have a blessed day. Don't forget to vote. I don't care who you vote for. When you're voting blue, up and down the ticket. Peace.